Let's talk about Telegram. You know, it's one of those apps that is just full of contradictions. It's kind of the best and, well, the absolute worst of the internet, all rolled into one. So today, we're going to do a full product teardown and really get into how this one platform can be two completely different worlds at the very same time. Time to peel back the layers. On one hand, you've got this incredible tool for good. For protesters in Hong Kong, it was like a decentralized brain, helping coordinate a massive leaderless movement. For activists in Belarus, it basically became a parallel media, completely bypassing government blackouts. It was, and is, a lifeline.
And then you flip the coin. On the other hand, it's this shadow platform, a notorious hub for everything from terrorist propaganda and state-sponsored disinformation to organized crime and crypto scams. All of it just flourishing under this big umbrella of privacy.
And look, we're not talking about some small, niche corner of the internet here. This is a global titan. We're talking over 1 billion monthly active users. That scale is absolutely crucial to understanding its power and its influence.
A voice for the voiceless, and a harbor for harm. These aren't two separate apps. It's not a bug. They are two totally different realities coexisting inside the exact same product, built on the same code and guided by the very same philosophy.
So that's the central question, isn't it? How can one platform be this incredible tool of liberation and, at the same time, a lawless frontier? To even begin to answer that, you have to look at the paradoxes that are baked right into its DNA.
Okay, first up we have to tackle the biggest conflict of all, Telegram's identity. Is it a liberator or a lawless space? And this isn't just some philosophical debate either. It has had some explosive real-world consequences.
So on one side of the ledger, you've got these incredible protest movements, Hong Kong, Belarus, Iran, where Telegram was an absolutely essential tool for organizing against authoritarian regimes. But on the other side, ISIS propaganda, Russian disinformation campaigns, and black markets for everything from drugs to stolen credit cards. And here's the kicker. The same features that empower the first group are the exact same features that enable the second. For years, this tension just kind of simmered below the surface. Then, August 2024 happened, and it all exploded into the open. The founder, Pavel Durov, was arrested in France. The authorities basically accused him of being complicit in all the crime that was flourishing on his platform. This was the moment that the digital paradox crashed headfirst into the physical world. And suddenly, that whole debate about platform responsibility, it became unavoidable.
So how did the product itself even create this situation? Well, it brings us to the second paradox. This one is all about a series of very deliberate technical and design choices that prioritize user convenience, often at the expense of what you might call the highest standard of privacy.
These trade-offs get really clear when you put Telegram side by side with its rivals. So you've got WhatsApp and Signal, right? They use end-to-end encryption by default for everything. That means not even the company can read your messages. But Telegram, it uses a different kind for most chats. And the reason why becomes pretty obvious when you look at that group size. You can cram 200,000 members into a single Telegram group, a scale that's only possible because of their encryption choices.
And this is the point you really have to get. The lack of default end-to-end encryption isn't some oversight. It's a deliberate feature. It's the secret sauce that allows for Telegram's killer app, that seamless cloud sync across all your devices, and, of course, those massive supergroups. They strategically chose to sacrifice the gold standard of privacy you get on Signal in exchange for a much richer, more convenient user experience.
This all leads us straight to our third paradox, the money. How on earth did a platform that was built on this fiercely anti-commercial, almost non-profit ideology manage to transform itself into a powerful revenue-generating machine? You have to go back to the beginning. This was their foundational promise. This whole anti-business stance was a strategic weapon, really. It built immense trust and pulled in millions of users who are fleeing the data-hungry models of places like Facebook. For years, the founder, Pavel Durov, just paid for it all out of his own pocket.
And man, that strategy worked. Weaponizing trust turned Telegram into a global force, scaling it up to that staggering 1 billion user mark we saw earlier. But here's the thing, supporting 1 billion users is not free. The costs are absolutely immense.
Which makes this number just remarkable. By 2024, Telegram wasn't just getting by. It was pulling in over $1 billion in annual revenue. A complete 180 from its free forever promise. So the question is, how did they pull it off without betraying their core users?
Well, they did it with a really carefully engineered, multi-pronged strategy.
First, they introduced premium subscriptions for power users. Then, a unique ad platform that's contextual, not personal. So, ads are based on a public channel's topic, not your private data. And finally, they went all in on Web3 with blockchain services on the Open Network, or TON, to build their own native digital economy.
So all this brings us to the future. With governments breathing down their necks demanding moderation and their entire identity at stake, Telegram's proposed solution is their most radical move yet. It's a plan to resolve all these paradoxes by fundamentally changing what a platform can even be.
The core idea is simple, but it is incredibly audacious. To survive, Telegram believes it has to stop being a platform and become a sovereign digital jurisdiction. The logic goes like this. The only way to truly be free from the laws of existing nations is to basically become your own nation, with your own legitimate system of self-governance.
And this digital nation, as they see it, would be built on 3 core pillars. First, it needs a form of citizenship. Think of it like a voluntary ID based on your reputation. Second, it needs a judiciary, a system of channel charters that lets communities enforce their own rules. And third, it needs a self-sustaining economy, built on that TON blockchain. This is so much more than a messaging app now. It's a blueprint for a whole new kind of society.
And so, Telegram's wild journey really forces us to confront one of the biggest questions of our time. It is a radical experiment in self-governance, a high-stakes gamble that maybe the only way to be truly free from the world's governments is to become one yourself. It leaves all of us with this final thought. What responsibility do the architects of these vast digital worlds truly owe to the billions of us who now live inside them?